Welcome back. The Jets pick is in with the 34th, but with 33rd, the Jacksonville Jaguars took Tyson Campbell, cornerback, Georgia. And I thought that was a good one. Jacksonville's going to have a chance to make some really good moves tonight. Now the Jets pick is in, and they've had the lowest the lowest yards and pass percentage the last 10 seasons, and they've had the longest drought of not being in the playoffs. So the Jets really want to make some moves, and the Jets pick is in right now. We'll see who they have selected in just a matter of moments. We're waiting for that pick to come in, so well, just please bear with us. And so we'll have that pick for you in just a moment. So, but yes, I think Tyson Campbell was a good choice for Jacksonville to select that. And I do feel that the Jets are really going to. I mean, the Jets have really had a long run of not being in the playoffs, as I mentioned. But they had a rough season, and they started to get hot by near the end of the season. And well, the Jets do need a wide receiver, running back, defensive end, and linebacker, and a cornerback as well. But they had a rough season last year, but they did start winning, and they are going to win a lot more games. Now here's the Jets selection. Pick, and they have selected with Elijah Moore, Ole Miss, wide receiver. Wide receiver, Ole Miss. And I think this was a good choice for the Jets because they need a wide receiver. That was one of the things they needed. So now we're up to the 35th pick of the draft. And the Atlanta Falcons are on the clock now. And the Atlanta Falcons did take. They took Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida, and I think they also. No, that was the only one that they took in the first round. Was Kyle Pitts. So, and that was a tight end. But I think they're going to want to take a wide receiver, and they had 293.6 pass yard gains in 2020. But Atlanta needs a QB, running back, quarterback, defensive end, and they do need linebackers because their defense is horrible, and they need to rebuild that defense. So I know Atlanta's going to really look to make some really good moves, and but I'm looking at the start-stop speed of Steve Smith and the player with the last name Scott, and but they want Steve Smith Sr. is not afraid to go deep or really, but also look for Elijah Moore to do that same thing because he's never afraid to go through path to cut through tackles and really get into that end. So look for Elijah Moore to do that same thing. And the Atlanta Falcons have traded their pick to the Denver Broncos. So that means the Denver Broncos are now on the clock with the 35th pick in round 2. So we'll see who they take in just a moment. And a new one. And the Broncos' 2020 defense had 4.8 yards rushing, and they were 29th in the NFL. And they have missed the playoffs each of the last 5 seasons. That's the second longest drought in their team's history. But I think Denver needs a quarterback. They need a center. They need a defensive end and a running back as well. So we'll see who they take. And Denver's pick, the Broncos pick, is in. So we're going to find out in just a few moments who they have selected. So just bear with us. But just bear with us. We'll be with you in just a moment.
The Broncos have traded up and their pick is in, so we'll be finding out what that is shortly.
So,
I'm trying to think here. The Broncos were a team that we thought might make a move for a quarterback last night. They did not. They go in their defensive secondary last night.
I just bear. In round one, though, the Denver, I can tell you who Denver took. They took Patrick Surtain, cornerback Alabama. So they did get a quarterback last night. And there's some new ones. There's GM George Patton who's with Denver now. And Denver, they had a fair season, but they want to improve. But they have a good they have a good offense, but their defense needs help. But as you know, it's a defense that good. The offense is good, but they need a lot of help in more ways than one. But they do need a right tackle as well. I meant to say that. And we are waiting for the Broncos pick to come in, so we'll have that for you in just a moment. And you really got to know, Denver they need to really they want to improve and have a better record from their last season. So we'll see what they do. We're about to find out who they have selected as of right now, and so we will see right now who the Denver Broncos have selected with the 35th pick.
The Atlanta Falcons have traded the 35th pick to the Denver Broncos.
And we'll see the Broncos have selected with the 35th pick, as I've mentioned. And we're going to see right now who they've selected.
NFL draft, the Denver Broncos select Javonte Williams.
And they have selected Javonte Williams, running back, North Carolina. That's a surprise.
Williams, he turned 21 on Sunday.
And he turns 21 on Sunday. And boy, is he going to have a big birthday to celebrate because he just got drafted by the Denver Broncos.
Broken tackle rate in the country. He is a former linebacker, and Mel Kiper, he runs like
And he's a former linebacker as well.
after that start of the season, look like he takes on people. Breaks tackles at 51 broken tackles this past year. Virginia Tech game October 10th was kind of a game that really showed you how good he could be. 20 carries for 169 yards.
And the Miami Dolphins are on the clock, and their pick is coming in right now as we speak. We're going to see who they have taken in just a moment. Actually, they're on the clock right now. So we'll see who they take in just a moment. But their pick is in, and Miami took a couple of good players last night in round one. And they were 10-6, as I mentioned last night. Third winning season in the last 15 years for the Dolphins franchise. But they need a guard, center, running back, and a linebacker. And last night, with pick number 6 in the first round, as I said, they took Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama. And then with the 18th pick, Miami took Jalen Phillips, defensive end from Miami University. And that was it. Those were 2 picks they had in the first round. But I think I was quite surprised with Denver taking Javonte Williams in the second round of the draft here. And I thought one of the other teams would take him, but that was not the case. So we will have to wait and see what happens. But I'm really surprised. And so... and they finished second in the AFC East, and they have a new player. Jacoby Brissett's now the backup quarterback in Miami. Wide receiver Will Fuller, the 5th, and they had 682 yards in the wide receiver slot, 9 point. And the legendary Isley brothers, who were 1992 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, are at the draft. You may know from that song. They sang the song Shout and sang and wrote the song Twist and Shout, which the Beatles later had a version of that, so you might remember that. So I wanted to throw that in for you. We're waiting for the Dolphins pick to come in. we're still waiting on that. Excuse me. And I think we're about to find out what it is in just a few moments from the Isley Brothers right now. So we're going to find out right now who the Miami Dolphins have taken with the first, with the 36th pick. And they have selected Javon Holland, safety from Oregon. And that's another one of my surprise picks tonight. But that's another one of my surprise picks. So I gotta tell you, this is quite a surprise pick, and now the Philadelphia, and he had the 4 interceptions and the most in percentage points, and now the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock, and they had a 4-11 record in 2020. They were last in the NFC, and they weren't out in the playoffs, and they've got some new people there. And they had 65 sacks allowed, 15 more than any other NFL team. They had with wide receiver 2,082 reception yards, and they do need a quarterback, linebacker, and a cornerback. Round 1 last night, Philadelphia took. I'm trying to see who they did take, but I know they did have a pick. Oh, they had the 10th pick because it got traded from Dallas to Philly. They took Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama. That was, I think, their only pick they had in the first round, I do believe. Yes, it was. So they are in need, and Eagles pick is in. And I'm starting to run out of time for this segment, but the Eagles pick is in. I'm waiting for it to come in. They have 9 picks remaining in the draft. So the pick is in. I'm waiting for it to come in. I just feel the Eagles they want to have a better record than last season. They want to improve. And that 2082 receiving yards is the 3rd fewest in the NFL. And I just feel the Eagles really need help in every way possible. They're another team that really needs help in every way possible. And we're waiting for the Eagles pick to come in, but I am starting to run out of time for this segment. And I am waiting for their pick to come in, and because the Eagles pick is in, but there's the Eagles, I think, will make quite a few moves this draft because they need to improve in every way possible, and they do need help in every way possible. So we shall see what they do. We are now in commercial with the NFL draft right now until it comes back on the air, and so. I'm running out of time for a segment. I've only got another minute left, so I'm going to take a break, and I'll be right back. Stay with us. I'll let you know who Philly picked when I come back.